Have you ever asked, God, when are you going to come through for me? You might be thinking, I've been praying and waiting, and yet I still see no change. But take heart, God has not forsaken you. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. For here are 3 things to remember and how to trust in God's timing. 1. Nothing is permanent. Maybe you've been going through your situation for a year, 5 years, 10 years, or maybe it's been your whole life and the end doesn't seem to be in sight. But God's delays are not God's denials. When it comes to God, the negative situations in your life are rarely permanent. Where you're putting a period in your life is where God's putting a comma. You might think your job, your family, your marriage, your health, your future is over, but it's not over until God says that it is. For God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planned eternity in the human heart. But even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end. By thinking something is permanent, we limit God's ability. In a way, we're telling God we don't believe He can change the situation. But the Lord said, but forget all that. It is nothing compared to what I am going to do. For I am about to do something new. See, I've already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland. In due time, God will make a path for you. When all the options seem to fail, God will create something completely new. The second thing to remember is 2. God has the final say. For it says, and I know that whatever God does is final. Nothing can be added to it and nothing taken from it. God's purpose is that people should fear Him. What is happening now has happened before. And what will happen in the future has happened before. Because God makes the same things happen over and over again. Whatever is happening in your life is not new to God. He already knows it. He's already seen it. He's already dealt with it before. Not even death has the final say. For it says, oh death, where's your victory? Oh death, where's your sting? But thank God, He gives us victory over sin and death through our Lord, Jesus Christ. What God opens, no one can close. And what God closes, no one can open. No loss, no trial, no disappointment, no doubt has the final say over your life. God in His awesome timing is perfect. God in His amazing power is absolute. You can trust in the one who's already seen the beginning and the end. For the Lord promises, when you go through deep waters, I'll be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. And finally, the third thing to remember is 3. God knows exactly what He's doing. Often waiting for God's timing feels like a long, desperate delay. You may wonder if God truly knows what's best for your life and feel compelled to take action into your own hands. Abram and Sarah did this when God promised them a son. Abram was 86 years old when Ishmael was born, and he wasn't even the child that God had promised. It wasn't until Abram was 100 years old that God would fulfill His promise and give Abram, Isaac, His promised son. When God works, sometimes it's hard for us to fathom. We want to box God in and try to lead Him to things that sound more feasible to us. Like Sarah, we may laugh or scoff to ourselves because the things God's making us wait for almost seem impossible to bring about. But is there really anything too hard for God? For it says, oh Jacob, how can you say the Lord doesn't see your troubles? Oh Israel, how can you say God ignores your rights? Have you never heard? Have you never understood? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of all the earth. He never grows weak or weary. No one can measure the depths of His understanding. God never promises that your life on earth would be easy, but He does promise there is a purpose for it all. He promises He'll be there through it all. Like the psalmist, you can declare, I wait for the Lord. My soul waits. In His word I hope. My soul waits for the Lord more than watchmen for the morning. Indeed, more than watchmen for the morning. For 1, nothing is permanent in your life. But 2, God has the final say in it all. And 3, you can trust that God knows exactly what He's doing, that He sees you, and that He hears you.